Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas live trading room recap for Thursday, August the 20th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Well, what started out to be a really boring day turned into a great day at the very end, and kind of exciting for me because let me just show you this trade. This is CLTX. Um, CLTX, of course, was the big mover yesterday. This is a 15-minute chart, and here's all the action that it had yesterday. Now today it had the big sell-off, but I notice it right here. And again, this is a little. In fact, let me just get the crosshairs going again. So this is not quite a red bar ignored, okay? Because you see the top of the red bar is about 238 and the top of this red candle is 236. But I had this bookmarked. I had this thumbnailed. And so when I saw this, I thought, you know what? It's close enough. It is really close enough. And also, let's face it, let's take into account that this was a high flyer yesterday. And I think that, when you have a high flyer, people are looking for any excuse at all to get back in it. They don't want to miss it this time. So I called this in the room. I said, this looks like the start of a red bar reversal and a red bar ignored. Sorry. And so I ended up taking the trade right here at 247. A beautiful green candle right there. As it started, getting wider and wider, I just took the trade. Technically, you're supposed to maybe wait for it to close, but it just, to me, it looked like it was ready. And, I was going to have a very tight stop on it because I was probably going to put the stop around 228. No worse than 228. The bottom of the body, not so much the tail of this red candle, but the body. So I'm in it at 247. So it's about a 20-cent stop. I mean, it's still a little bit excessive for a $2 stock, but again, sometimes you just have to go on your gut. And I just thought that this one was going to take off. So got in at 247. I took some out right here at I think it's 260. 260, yes, at 260. And then the excitement happened for me because I think right at the time I was saying in the room, well, we're going to have a $3 test. Excuse me, my internet connection went out. So I had to scramble to try to figure out what was happening. I mean, and this is you don't want to be in a stock like this and your internet connection goes out because I mean, look, it especially when it's trying to get to a whole number. Excuse me, could have just as easily just collapsed on me and gone all the way back down. But luckily, it held, and I am still in. So at 363, I am still in from a $2.47 initial entry, and so it's all good. It's all great today. Wasn't starting out like that. It's not like I had a bunch of losses, but I mean, it was just not that exciting. Now here I'm going to test something to see because let me just get rid of this because I have to show the other trades I made today. And let's see here. Whoops. Just 1 second. I don't know why LL is not here. This is Lumber Liquidators. That was a first trade. It's possible that when the connection went down, I don't know why. I don't think I should have lost that though. Well, I know I have this one. OKE. An OKE. And I'm showing this on the 30-minute chart, all right? And the reason I'm showing you this on the 30-minute chart is, and also I should tell you another thing, is that in the latest version of the software, even though I lost my connection, and of course Trade Ideas was down and all, this is some of the I don't know why this is driving me nuts. This shouldn't be doing that. The markups that I had already made, they retain, and they're cached. I don't know for how long they're cached, if it's for the whole day or for longer than that. I really don't know, but at least they are cached, and so I didn't lose my markups. Not that they're great, still, all these markups, these lines, my annotations and all. This is still early days of being able to do this, but hopefully you get the drift of it. Anyway. OKE. Now, here's one that didn't work. This is a red bar ignored on the 30-minute chart. Okay, so you see here's the green candle. Now it's a little bit wonky, though I didn't mind this at all because that means this tail here means that the sellers really tried to drive it down and the buyers took over and drove it back up. Here is the red candle engulfed by this previous green candle, and then the green candle here. Now, I was late on this. I don't know exactly when I saw this, but really by all rights, 35.10 or close, maybe even here, 30, like over the high of this first green candle, that would have been my better entry. So I was in here late. I bought it at 35, 37. Now I'm showing you this on a 30-minute chart, but if I was on a 5-minute chart, you would see that. I mean, it looks like well, just had to hold on, and it went up to 35.64. I could have sold some there, but that's not exactly what happened. On a 5-minute chart, it actually went back down, and so I ended up selling 35.29 for a loss on this one. So just to show, they don't all work, but this is a nice little setup for sure. That's a great little setup. Let's see, Merck. Let's see if Merck survived the outage. I think it must have. Let's see, Merck. Yeah, it did. Okay, let me just get rid of OKE. And Merck. Oh, geez, sorry about that. I don't know if I don't want to call it a bug, but let's see, I have to move it back here. But it seems to grab these things too easily. Like when I'm moving around, see how this is, so it's hovering over this. So the minute I kind of click on it, it moves. But anyway, um, I got into Merck. Merck was one of those ones which was collapsing. And so I was watching this as all this action was happening. So all these red candles, again, 5-minute chart. See how it had closed yesterday at 59, up here, 59.68, and it was down to 56. So it really had collapsed and it was moving down. I watched it, was trying to find a bottom on this, almost got in here. I'm sorry for this. This should not be nice to be able to move it somewhere. But anyway, in fact, let me just bring back the crosshairs. There we go. Okay, so was looking at this action right there, and I almost took the trade here, but I didn't. Watch this little pullback here, and then on this candle right there, I decided to take the trade. That is at 57.24. I sold some at 57.44 here on the way up. I was really only looking for a scalp on this. Or thinking I would only get a scalp on this because the market was very, very weak today, so it was hard to commit to anything going long. And then you see how it got all the way up to here. Jeez, just lagging a bit here. Okay, and I think it's because it doesn't lag like this, when I'm looking at the charts without doing this video, and I think it just lags when I'm doing the video. Anyway, 57.78 was the high, and it just didn't seem to want to go any higher than that, so I got out of the trade at 57.60. So not bad, for something that on a day that was really, really tough to commit to anything long. And LL, again, I don't know why it didn't come up. Let me just check again to make sure that it's not hiding somewhere. Okay, well, you know what I'll do is I will now go symbol linking, and I'm going to go LL. Oh, ha! Right on. Okay, so you see how the caching is working. I just had to bring it back. It just wasn't in a saved. What I have is I can just go to my icons and I can see all the charts that I saved, and it just wasn't there. But here we go. And maybe if I just expand this a bit. There we go. Okay, so ended up buying it here at 1566. Now LL, you see here, here's the big gap up. So this is what caught our attention in the room. And I noticed also. In the pre-market, when I get my upgrades and downgrades, I noticed that LL was one of the upgrades. And so, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is why it's going up. Bit of a pullback, and took the trade right here at 1566. Sold some here at 1583, and boy, it looked like it was really going to. I got greedy. I mean, it hit 1633. Was watching it bounce around this area, hoping that it would recapture 16 and just resume. I didn't do that, so I sold at 1591. So now, if you know the story of lumber liquidators, if I bring up a daily chart on this one, I think it might show it. Yeah, I mean here's where all the bad news. I can't even remember the chemical or the compound that they found in the wood from China. Big expose, the drop, further drop. I mean, this has just been really, really beaten up. But look, I mean, here's a stock that. See, this is another thing I don't like. Here's the volume right there, and I cannot see the price. And I've asked, these things will be fixed. I mean, this is a first iteration of these charts. But anyway, here I think it's about say about $12. So it's starting to come back, and obviously a gap to fill. I would watch this one tomorrow to see if it can at least get it, maybe fill that gap to 20. And who knows what's going to happen down the road. But definitely definitely a very good trade today. And CLTX, seeing it's dropping a little bit. I'm going to hold on. I just want to see if it can just keep above 3 anyway. And but if definitely if it drops below 3, I'll be out, and maybe even a little sooner than that. But anyway, glad to have got the video in. I also wanted to, oh yeah, the one disappointment, and who knows, maybe it's okay now. MEIP. Yeah, not really. This is, let me just bring up the 15-minute chart on this one and make sure we have the post-market or pre-market checked. hmm So this one was we were hoping that this one was going to be the exciting one for the day. So here's where it closed, I guess, yesterday around 180. And look, it popped up in the pre-market all the way up to 216. And it's another bio. So, we're all looking for these things now. I mean, we've had so many of these little bios now that have had good continuation. And I actually said in the pre-market that, let me see where. So here's the opening candle. Here's the candle at 9:30. And I was saying in the pre-market that it would be great if it didn't collapse too much, and if it could hold over $2 and be close to 216, so that on the open, if it popped through 216, it'd be a great buy. But it just didn't happen, and it just kept going down, down all day. So, it was a disappointment because I was even around here. I had some hopes that eventually would catch a bid, and people would bid it up through 2, and it might even just go right through that high of the pre-market. Now, if we take a look at the daily chart. Yeah, you can see right here. I mean, 242 is maybe a bit of a roadblock, but I think when I expanded it just a little bit, yeah, I mean, you can see here. Well, okay, yeah, this is what I was looking at. So if I can get through here, 245, this is why we have to watch it tomorrow and for the next few days. I mean, I have no idea why it did what it did today, but then you can see, look at the big gap up to $5. I mean, up to this area. So what I would do is I would put an alert in your charting program, whatever program you have, your brokerage platform, whatever it is, and I would put an alert at right at this level. And it may not happen tomorrow, or next day, or next week, but if it does happen at some point, then it's got a beautiful gap to fill. So that's what I would do, and that's what I am going to do. All right. So again, exciting end of the day. At any rate, it was a big snooze fest for basically the first few hours, but it certainly had some excitement at the end of the day, and that's why these red bar or green bar ignored are so powerful. They're so powerful, and they're great to see, and they're all over the place. I mean, you can load a lot of charts, and you can just see. You can see them probably, even if you hadn't been alerted on those charts during the day, pull up some charts and just see what they look like. Now, it does help if it's in some kind of a trend. I mean, it's not just a matter, in my opinion, of having a red or green bar ignored. If it's just, if this were flat, kind of flat, and then you saw it and it popped up, it may work. It could certainly work. But what I like is if the trend is starting to move in that direction, you get the little pause and then the resumption, and that's kind of what happened with CLRX or CLTX. All right. Let me just bring back I keep saying that, and I keep, eventually I'll remember that it's always here. Okay, here's how to get into the room. Here's the address. Log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.